Hello everybody and welcome to week 14 of class. This week we are finally going to dive into probably one of the most iconic, if not the most significant event in all of U.S. history as far as the shaping of the nation goes, and that is of course the American Civil War. We're going to spend the next 2 weeks sort of diving into the conflict and looking at some of the key battles, some of the key issues that surrounded this war, a war that effectively changed the very meaning and nature of the idea of what we understand as the Union, as well as a conflict that helped to bring about, in a very real, tangible way, the end of slavery in this nation. Now, I will say that although the war helped to bring about the end of slavery, it did not bring about an end to racial and prejudicial tension. In fact, following the Civil War, as we will see when we get to Reconstruction, that racial and prejudicial tension is still going to be very, very dominant. And in some respects, it actually gets worse for African Americans, predominantly in the South, who will have the reality of freedom in their hands. But the truth of the matter is that despite what the law says, many laws in the South, including Jim Crow laws and black codes, will keep them from being able to execute their rights. But before we get to that, we actually have to get to that. And so we need to go through the various conflicts. Now, one of the differences for this week than we've had in the past weeks is that the PowerPoints for this week are not voice narrated. I apologize for that. I'm in the process of reworking these lectures and trying to get them up to speed. But at this time, those are not voice narrated. But you will want to look through them. And so for this week, what we're going to be looking at is years 1861, 1862, and part of 1863. And the first part of the years of the war were really significant because at this time, it's not very clear who's going to win the war. Indeed, hindsight tells us that it was almost inevitable that the South was going to lose, but that wasn't so clear in the first years of the war. In fact, it would look if sheer numbers of battles won is considered, that the South was going to win this conflict. And we're going to talk more about that. So I could go on in here and just lecture about the whole thing for a couple hours, but since we've got other materials this week, I won't do that. But I do want to just stress the significance of this event on the American society and on the American mind, and just how it very much is still a part of who we are. With that, I want to encourage you to begin working on, thinking through which topics you'd like to work on for your final PowerPoint assignment. That's coming up in a few weeks. I think May 7th, I think, is when it's due, so you want to be looking at that. And be in contact with me so I know what it is that you're planning on doing, so I can help you with that. Otherwise, if you have questions or concerns, please contact me and I'll do what I can to get back to you. Otherwise, as always, go in peace. Be warm and filled. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper, and may the odds forever be in your favor. All right, guys, have a blessed week.